Warning, the following program contains scenes of graphic stupidity among four lifelong friends who compete to embarrass each other.
Prepare for something amazing.
Hey, mustache, what's up?
I love my mommy. I will never forgive you. Larry!
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the BBR podcast. This will be episode 23. My name is Dr. Steen. I grow funny creatures and let them run into the night. Anybody know what that's from?
Mm-mm.
No? Dr. Steen? Halloween? It was the single, 1988? Come on. You don't know Halloween singles?
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't play Halloween that often.
Bollocks.
I mean, have you seen what album I'm recommending for today? I think no one's surprised by that.
Dawnfall, Halloween. I imagine there would be some, there's
Yeah.
probably some guys out there who are into both.
I thought you were talking about Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yeah.
No, Dr. Steen. What Frankenstein? That's Young Frankenstein, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where he has the brain in the jar. It says like Abby Normal or
Mhm.
abnormal.
Yeah.
Abby Normal. There you go.
Dr.
Oh,
Frank.
Doctor what? Anyways,
Yes.
last week we had the thrash metal honey bun of the week. This week we're changing it. It's the doom metal honey bun of the week, and we'll have Sharon from Dercada. That'll be my pick, because Matt sent me a picture of like the band, and he's like, they could get it for real. I'm like, yeah, well, Sharon can, and I think she was married to the guy from like Ex Mortis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think his name was Chris or something. Oh, lucky son of a. Yeah, but anyways. Oh, there was something, Paul, you wanted me to bring up that you mentioned before the last episode ended. The Captain Forever thing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, Fred, when me and Paul were in high school, I think this was like the first year that we met and like formed a band and stuff. There was this guy who. How would you describe this guy, Paul? Maybe you could tell the story a little bit better, actually.
Well, I'll introduce it and you finish it off.
Okay.
So this guy, my age.
Paul,
he's...
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, it's like a try-hard, but it's like never enough to like actually be like not a poser and shit. And
He's trying hard, but it's not working whatsoever.
yeah, in like all the wrong ways, like, dressing up, the corpse paint, the selfies, the image, he has that right, for the most part. And then,
It sounds like that Offspring song, "Pretty Fly for a White Guy."
He's not white.
and, yeah, so he was cool nonetheless, but,
Okay, dude.
yeah, and then, trying to, impress Dan and me with like bands, saying that he knows them and all this, and that's where this story comes in.
Oh, well, yeah, he was. I think we were walking down the hall or something, and he's like, oh yeah, you listen to this, you listen to that. I'm like, yeah. And I was asking him some bands that I was listening to, and I'm like, you listen to whoever, listen to this. He's like, yeah, every single band. He's saying yeah. So I made up a name. I said, you listen to Captain Forever? He goes, oh yeah. Captain Forever, that's not a band. that's maybe like a bootleg version of Captain Beyond or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he still thinks that's a band. But yeah, see what I mean? Trying too hard, but not
Trying to find their stuff on Soulseek.
Yeah, it's not enough. I don't think he knew what that was. But yeah,
If you don't know a band, just be honest about it. It's cool. It's all right. I don't even care if you don't know who fucking
I remember
anything. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I'm old now.
I remember I went to a
Nobody
show
cares.
for a Toronto band, Crucifix Sodomy, and I was waiting for them to start playing and just chatting with someone, and they go, "Oh, I really like these guys." I'm like, "Oh, you've seen them before?" And they're like, "Yeah, I have all their albums." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Thinking to myself, they haven't released any albums or demos. They have nothing out.
Why you gotta lie? What's the point of lying? You're not, because if you're
Right.
lying, somebody's gonna know more than you, and you're like gambling. You're taking a gamble of looking like a fucking asshole.
There was nothing to gain there.
You're gambling with your life.
Yeah.
Um, Paul, the Captain Forever thing, it had me just, as a random story, it had me thinking of something else. I'm sure you'll like this. This is like quick and really stupid. But when I was a kid, we used to go to Laughlin. You know where Laughlin is, right? Kind of like the old people's version of Vegas out in
Yeah.
Nevada. Yeah, old people go there to gamble. There's like lakes and rivers, and me and my family, we used to go out there to like go sea doing, like jet skis and stuff. A lot of fun. But I remember as early as like maybe 5 years old on the road, maybe like 10 miles away from the hotels. There's a road with really steep, like whoop-de-doo kind of hills. That's what my dad used to call them, the whoop-de-doos. The like, go down, oh, and you go back up.
Yeah.
Anyways, I remember my dad saying this when I was like 5 or probably like 5. He goes when we go down the hills, it makes my pee-pee tingle. And I remember every time after that when we would be going down a hill, my mom or my cousin or somebody would go tingle tingle. Going down the hill makes your pee-pee tingle. Just so everybody knows. If you want your pee-pee to tingle, go head to Laughlin and wait for that road, the whoop-de-doo fucking road. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, get some stimulation.
Nicely done.
Oh, Fred, you said you're not sick anymore, right?
That's sick.
Yeah, just barely, but whatever.
And you did something fun this week, didn't you?
Did some metal.
Did something
I
metal,
did.
yeah. Yeah, tell
I
us about
did.
that. I want every filthy detail.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Well, I showed up while Blood Incantation was playing, so I only caught like the last song or two.
I forgot it was Blood Incantation. They're the meme band, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And I kind of feel bad for them because it's like they're just doing their thing, and musically they're fine. Like I don't think they're deserving of all the hype people go apeshit over them. But I mean, like there's nothing wrong with them for me. But they were fine. They were good. So
Yeah.
that's fine. Then it was Gorguts, and Gorguts was fucking awesome. Like they played a lot of stuff from Considered Dead, and they closed off with Obscura, like the song Obscura, and seeing them play that was fucking wild. Like I've never seen someone play a guitar like that before.
Oh yeah, with all that tapping and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So that was great. Mayhem was next, and as I'm waiting for Mayhem to start playing, these two idiots in corpse paint come and stand next to me eating fries.
Those two idiots are gonna hear this. They're gonna track you down.
Yeah, that's fine. and I don't even get this because they were standing next to me for the first. So Mayhem's set was broken down into 3 parts, and I don't know if this is how they usually do it, but this is how it was tonight. The first third of the set was new tracks, so like Grand Declaration of War upwards, or post Geronimous, I guess. And that was fine. And then they go off stage and they come back in black cloaks, and then they start playing tracks from the DMDS era. These guys in corpse paint left when they started playing the DMDS stuff. I can't even explain it. I don't know if they left the venue or if they just went like to the back of it. But either way, they were no longer there when they started playing the DMDS stuff. I was surprised they didn't play Funeral Fog. That seems like a staple, but that's fine. They played DMDS the track, and I was happy as a pig in shit with that. That's my favorite one, so that worked out. Third part of the set was the Death Crush era, so Death Crush, PFA, the usual stuff.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I know it was a great set. They're like something from every era, and the way they broke it down was actually really good, so you know what to expect. And Cannibal Corpse. So I'd never seen Cannibal Corpse before. They were great. Like, what's not to like about Cannibal Corpse?
Yeah, they got Eric Rutan, right? Oh, now they do.
Yeah, and he's a beast. Holy crap!
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
he can play.
fantastic. He's fantastic, and Corpse Grinder like has so much energy, and he's funny and he's menacing at the same time. And someone threw a teddy bear at him, and he was over the moon about it. And
Yeah, he goes to Target and like buys toys and shit.
yeah, like apparently he goes to the those claw machine games, and like pulls out
Yeah.
as many stuffed animals as he can, and donates them to the children's hospital, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is great. And
He should keep. That's fine
yeah,
that he
so
does
some
that, but
people
he
just
should keep.
grab
He should
at
keep
him.
that to himself.
No, it's like it
He's
adds to
ruining
the,
his
to the
image.
persona. It's perfect.
Yeah, I guess so.
And,
He's kind of doing the Metalocalypse thing, the cutesy metal guy or something.
Yeah. And and obviously they closed off with Hammer Smash Face. I mean, what's not to like? They played stuff from
metal.
yeah. They played stuff from throughout their entire discography. So I mean, but I mean they don't have any bad albums, right? Like everything, any Caliban Corpse album you pick up is going to be a good time, even if it's not the most original thing out there, right? So
Yeah, maybe towards
was,
like the fifth album, it starts to get really consistent, and nothing's bad. It's all just very consistent. That's all.
yeah, exactly. No, I'd say the only like it was a great show. The only bummers for me were that Mayhem didn't play Funeral Fog or Necrolust. I really wanted to hear Necrolust, but that's okay. They played DMDS, and that would have been my number one pick. So can't complain. And they
you
played
up?
Freezing Moon. Freezing Moon was awesome.
Were you up front banging your head, or were you a few rows back with a beer?
I was a few rows back. I would have wanted to be up front, but there were too many people, so I just didn't want to push my way through and just hung back a bit. I was like probably 6 or 7 people away from the stage on the side.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
How
good
big
vantage
was-
point.
how big was
I
the
didn't have
place?
complaints. It was big. There were like 2,000 people.
Damn.
Really? Holy shit! So there
Yeah.
was an upstairs
And that
too,
was-
then.
Yeah, but there weren't many people up there. I don't even know how you got up there. I don't know if you had to buy separate tickets or. 'cause
Yeah, I
didn't
think you
see
do have
any
to buy. You have to
immediately
buy
obvious
like more.
way.
Yeah, I think you have to buy more expensive tickets to get up there to like get away from the fucking. I don't know, just a place to sit down or something.
Yeah, but when I bought tickets, there was no options for different tickets. It was just general admission. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
When I
maybe
saw
had to pay
Emperor,
when we
there
were
was
there.
like.
I
yeah,
didn't
weird.
explore to find out.
Mhm.
Either way, after the show, I went to see the merch stand. The Mayhem stuff was way too expensive, but I did buy a Considered Dead shirt from Gorguts and chatted with Luke for a little bit. Really nice guy.
Oh, you chatted with him? That's cool.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
Did you see
He
any
was manning
familiar
his
faces
merch
there?
stage. No, actually, I didn't see anyone I knew.
Did you go by yourself?
Yep, usually do.
Damn, and you were there the whole damn time.
Well, after Blood Incantation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
you said like mid blood, mid blood incantation.
The Blood Incantation
right?
merch stand. It was being manned by, I guess, one of their roadies or whatever. He was like, he had no hair, and there was a tip jar that was labeled Bald Incantation.
Bald incantation. All
I
right.
got a kick out of that. But yeah, good show. I was happy with the outing. It's the first. It was a long time since I've been to a show.
Yeah, to see those bands, you know.
Yeah, the only thing I wish is I'd been a smaller. I mean, I don't think you can see Cannibal Corpse in a small setting at this point, but like that was probably the biggest metal show I've been to, and it was a lot of people, and with a lot of people comes a lot of idiots. So it was just like stood off to the side and just did my best to ignore the.
So did you see any other idiots besides the French fry eaters?
There's a real resurgence in body surfing. I don't know what's going on with that. But like the security guard at the front that was catching everyone is a fucking hero. Like he was on the ball.
You mean like stage diving, like crowd surfing? You mean?
No. Like people didn't get up on the stage because there was a barrier between the floor and the actual stage. People just got picked up in the crowd and surfed to the front, and then they got picked out by the security guard, and then they had to run between the stage and the front and just go back into the crowd around the sides. So yeah, like I've been to a lot of shows, and I don't recall people body surfing before, but I guess I've never been to a show that was that big either, so I don't know.
Those are
It was
the
enough.
corpse paint guys, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Either way, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'd do it again.
I don't know what it is about guys in corpse paint. There's always they're always acting up.
I saw a total of 5 people.
They're
in
always the
corpse
center
paint.
of attention. There was. Oh man.
Attila's great though. Very theatric. It's a very different approach from Dead, but like it's operatic, it's dramatic. It's,
Yeah, once he gets a cloak on, huh?
yeah, and then he takes the cloak off for Death Crush and just like loses his shit completely. It's
Yeah, 'cause I sent you guys the.
I don't know, the newer songs sounded okay, but I just didn't recognize them because I don't really listen to Newer Mayhem. So
Yeah, just listen to
it sounded fun
Tormentor.
live. Yeah, seriously.
You have
Man,
the
I
metal
love
riff
Sea
in there.
Tormentor.
The metal riff number 2.
Yeah, no,
And
no.
Paul, you've been going to too many shows this month.
Yeah, I think I'm done, capped out
You're
for
done?
the year.
You'd calm down.
Did you go by yourself to or tell you went to like 2 this week, didn't you?
Yeah, so I saw Future Pile with Drew and Anthony.
The Brutal Brothers.
Yeah, So we ended up, seeing that. I think there was a band that just finished up playing when we got there, and then there was
that-
one more.
Was that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre band?
That was the band that was gonna play right before Putrepile. So we showed up with the third to last band. They just finished playing, and then we got in and watched the theatrical performance from that like gore grind band. There had some slams in there stuff too.
And the guy had like chainsaws in his hand, right?
Yeah, and he had a broken foot. I think James knows those guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, James knows everybody. He's a
I think
social
they're
butterfly.
Goratorium or something. I think that's what they're
All
called. They're pretty good. And then Putrepile came on, and it was like a last minute venue change. I think he saw like James point that out.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like literally like this hallway with like all these shelvings right here. Like that's how big this venue was. It was like so narrow and thin, and they had like the mirrors to give the illusion that it was bigger, but it was just as muggy and hot and sweaty as it in reality how small it was. And then it was a very small stage, like maybe like halfway up my shin. It was like from the ground. And then so it was just Sean up there by himself with the drum machine in the back. And it was weird though, because it seemed like the guitar and everything else was just coming through the monitors, which were in front of the stage, and we were like right up on it, so the monitors were behind us, so it was like weird listening to it with the music behind us but the show going on right in front.
Yeah, you can audibly hear people yelling and laughing and stuff while he's playing.
Yeah. And no, it was great. I just wish they would have played a little bit more of the earlier stuff from like Collection of Butchery, but they're playing stuff from their newer albums. Blood Fetish and stuff, but they played some Pleasure and Suffering and Drenched in Gasoline and shit like that. So they played some bangers, Gallery of Horrors too. So that was a sick ass show, especially with all that energy just coming from one guy,
Yeah.
And then there was a fucking main character there. He was like slamming and like literally doing the splits and in the middle of the mosh pit, but there was like nowhere to go, so he was just like in between people's legs doing the splits and like slamming, and then he would like twerk and shit. And
Was that the shirtless guy?
Yeah, he was at the Putrepile show too.
Oh, he was at the Putrepile and
Yeah.
Cephalotripsy show doing the same thing.
Yeah, and he got like so fucked up, like he was jumping up on the stage during
One size fits all.
Yeah, Putrepile set, and he was just like singing, and then like Sean was like, "What the fuck?" and like pushed him, and then I guess one of the guys from the venue or whatever, the bar, came along and just like pushed him like fucking straight out of the bar. Like all the way out. It was just so funny. And then afterward, that guy got into a fight with someone else like afterward.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, we're just standing outside and they're just like beating the fuck out of him. And then
So that guy got beat up.
Yeah.
The main character got beat up.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a main character at a show. You just don't want to do it.
No.
Because you usually look like a fucking cringe asshole when you do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yep.
Making people laugh, you're making people mad, you're making a total ass out of yourself.
yeah, it was just like a clown and shit.
Yeah, then you're the
Mostly
sad
making
clown.
people
You're
mad.
like
Who are we kidding?
you're like fucking Pagliacci.
Yeah, and then fucking couple days later, fucking the Extermination Fest, saw Cephalotripsy. So I showed up when on their scheduled time. Of course, they played 2 hours later. So I
Yeah,
sat
of
through.
course. You can never show up on time, can you?
Yeah, but this
Or
thing,
I mean, like, the bands never play when they're supposed to.
yeah, so they were starting this fest supposedly at 4 p.m. They probably pushed it back. No one showed up.
Yeah.
And then, I'm surprised when I got there, there was like maybe like under 50 people there tops. Like, and most of it, from what I was seeing, they were like the bands. So like not many people were just attending.
Yeah.
And no, but it was a cool area. It was like in like Bell, sort of by like Southgate. It was like in some industrial area. And then there just so happened to have a bar right in the middle of these warehouses. So it was pretty sick. A lot of parking. I go and I see, I check out the merch and all that. I, of course, grab a fucking shirt. Merch man now. Yeah, so then, you know, they play a great fucking set, and you know, they let us know that they're actually gonna be coming out with a new album. I don't know if that was like news or not, but it was news to me, so I'm happy
Switch
to hear
these
that.
earbuds real quick.
Yeah. And yeah, that main character was there again. I don't know if he was there from like 4 to, you know, the end, but he was like significantly more fucking drunk. So he was like, when I got there in the pit, he was like, it was like during a hardcore band, so people were doing like the fucking, you know, crowd killing shit, doing the hardcore dancing, 2-step shit. And then I think he got like hit really fucking hard, and then shoes fell off.
Wait, who?
The main character, the guy I sent you a fucking
Oh,
video of, yeah.
so he was in the pit hardcore dancing?
No, he was in the pit while 2 guys were hardcore dancing for.
And he got hit, and his shoes.
Oh,
he
no.
got hit out of his shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we only saw one shoe at the end of the night. It was like right in the pit. He didn't fucking grab it, but he was just like in his socks, ridiculously short shorts. Like it was like going past his socks, like even past his ankles, where his shorts like were ending. And
Oh no.
big ass shirt, fucking just new metaled out. And then yeah, so then his shoes fall off, and then he's just like on the floor. And then he starts doing the splits and all that, and humping the air, and you know, real obscene extreme shit.
Was
But
this guy by himself?
It looked like he knew a bunch of people, and they're just like, oh, this guy, you know.
Maybe they've seen him before. They don't, you know, nobody actually knows him.
Yeah, because I saw a bunch of people just like whenever you'd start doing the twerk thing, the splits, and start slamming, you know, they would like all go selfie with them. So yeah, just main character shit. And
Vince
yeah,
core shit.
yeah, and you know, besides that, it was, you know, they put on a fucking great show. It was nice to, you know, meet Angel, that he was like manning his you know, his merch booth and shit. And yeah, and then I think I stayed a little bit for Molested Divinity. They're from Turkey. Real technical shit.
What the hell were they doing over here?
I don't know, they fucking flew out for this shit.
Whoa.
For
My
like
God.
Wow.
for like 50 people and shit.
What if they were disappointed?
I don't know, they went on like at fucking 2 a.m. So like no one was really
Oh,
there.
man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, because Cephalotrypsy ended around like 1:30ish or something.
I feel bad for some of these brutal death metal bands.
Yeah, it's
They-
such a
a, lo-
niche
a lot of
genre.
them. It is. It really is. Like they put so much work into what they do, I would assume, and then like I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of wants or fucking can't think of the word. There's like hardly a market for it in like today's fucking metal scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta
It's
make
like
that.
very
It's like
very
well.
out there.
Yeah, gotta make
There
that.
must be some market for it. I mean, all these labels keep putting them out, so there must be some people.
New standard elite.
Yeah, that and Brutal
Buying it.
Mind.
CDN Records,
Yeah, there's a few Severed records before. and-
Severed, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they had a
Uni-
raffle, and they just like
Unique Leader, I guess.
gave a box of like nuclear blast shit away. I was like, damn, I should have got a fucking thing and just like everyone's fucking gift bag for Christmas this year. Just gave him some what's that one?
Nuclear blast stuff.
Yeah, what's that one? Oh no, I'm thinking of Napalm Records. I was like that dwarf band or whatever.
Diggy hole.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dwarf band.
but yeah,
Thought you were gonna say Eluvete.
no, but yeah, good show.
They have one song I like.
But I'm done for the year. I know Demon Sea's coming like this month. I'm like, damn, I don't know.
Oh, come on, you can't miss Demon Sea.
Yeah, so I
What
think-
if you've already seen Demon Sea?
Oh, then you
And
could.
yeah, I told you about their bass player bitching about the fucking pedal.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man. I'd love to
Yeah,
see
I don't
Demon Sea.
know. I don't know if there's any other show. I wanted to go all this stuff, but I don't know, stomach issues. I don't know what else is coming up. I don't think there is anything else coming up.
No,
Is there?
that page I was seeing that, you know, throws all the LA ones. It just looks like fucking DJ sets and shit. Thin Lizzy night. and shit
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, there's shows. It seems like every night, multiple shows a night around our area in LA and like surrounding cities. I
Yeah.
don't know. You
It's
kind
not
of just
like
have
that
to.
over here.
Yeah, you have to just like kind of pick and choose what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
And it's usually always kind of like the same situation, unless it's like a giant band. But I feel like when it's a giant band, I just don't want to stand around because
yeah.
it's
That's
gonna
like,
take fucking forever. I hate standing around.
yeah, I was like, I showed up at like 10, and they weren't supposed to go on until I think maybe 10:30 or something. So I was like, okay, I'll get there, I'll get my merch, whatever. And then
Was Convulse the only band that we saw that actually worked out?
yeah, I think we walked in the door as they were playing. No.
Yeah, Makwahidal too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like a pro. That was like a pro tip. Go in for the band you want to see, like at the very end. And you won't be there for that long. You won't be too tired. You won't be all burnt out.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when I saw Emperor, man, I was like burned out by like halfway through their set and like too drunk to fucking continue on. I hate that feeling. It's just like I'm bitching out.
Yeah. No, 4 bands was a bit much for me. I'm like, okay. By the end of it, I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you went to a giant
fun
giant show. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, next show I'm going to is until like mid-November, and
Got time to recoup.
so, yeah. Well, that one
There
shouldn't
was-
be. That one's gonna be Thornspawn, Nuclear Hammer, and Hexafiction. That's gonna be a cool show.
I
There
kind of would
is-
like to see Thornspawn too.
There is a Suffocation show coming up with Incantation and Skeletal Remains. But honestly, I don't really want to see Suffocation. The only band I'd really want to see out of that lineup is Incantation. So I don't know.
Had you seen them before?
I've seen Incantation before.
Okay. Yeah, we saw Incantation once, long time ago.
Every time I've seen
I-
Incantation, well, I've only seen Incantation once, but every time they come through here, they're not headlining. I'd like to see them headline.
Yeah,
Like
Autopsy.
when I
was
saw them,
headlining when we saw them.
Yeah, when I saw them, they opened for Marduk, and this time they're, I'm sure Suffocation is the, yeah, Suffocation is the
Marduki.
headliner.
Got him.
Marduk, who are fantastic live, by the way.
Trigger drums, homeboy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if they use trigger drums or not.
No, the Brutal Death Metal show for sure had the trigger drums, and they sounded sick.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's this
Where
band that
they're,
was like, they was like, oh, it's not fucking, the sensitivity's not right, because he's like trying to do like the fucking quadruple kick ones and shit.
Yeah.
And it took like a minute, like, an extra fucking 10 minutes to get that calibrated.
So everybody's got the trigger drums.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of the sound. That.
yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. Well, you bought one of those things, so we're gonna have a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, so I gotta figure out how to do that tomorrow.
Oh shit! You didn't figure out how to do it?
No, I meant like for recording.
Yeah. I don't know if Damien will fucking know how to do that either.
I have like 3 ideas of how it will work, but we'll see.
I guess we'll see. We'll get done what we can get done.
Yeah, but yeah, just a lot of shows. And Dan, have you been watching any shows or movies or anything?
I finished Paranoia Agent today again for the second time. I forgot how it ended. Did you finish it or did you even start it?
No, I haven't. I've only been watching the Frasier prequel.
You've been watching that? Oh, the prequel.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the reboot. I was about to say, oh god.
No, the prequel. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Good stuff. That's a great show.
That's what it's relegated to now. It's a Frasier prequel.
Yeah.
It's not its own show anymore.
I feel like I saw something sick. I don't remember what it was. It was probably just Paranoia Agent. Oh, I saw a movie called Lair of the White Worm. You guys ever heard of that?
No.
I've heard the name, but I haven't seen it. No.
It's I think it's like the first Hugh Grant movie, but it's a horror movie. And it's about that like Scottish legend of the fucking, I forget what it's called, the Dunlap worm or something. It's like a fucking dragon or something that they slay.
Rawr.
But yeah, there's like snake chicks that get possessed, and there's like these weird like altered state kind of scenes, like biblical fucked up scenes. It's a decent horror movie. I would recommend it. It's fun enough.
Nice.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, I
Eventually.
hadn't really been watching anything else
Yeah,
besides that.
Shannon,
I kind of, huh?
I was gonna say Shannon gave us a list, huh?
Shannon gave us what did he give us?
Fields to England or something like that.
Yeah, some like English war movie and a movie called The Kill List, and I put it on and then I kind of just turned the volume down and I was on my phone. Because that's what happens a lot. But the band he recommended, Jets to Brazil. I like that.
Yeah.
You said it was like an emo band.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of just reflecting on good anime that I'd seen, and I kind of just would like to either rewatch some of those and or maybe find some more. I don't know. I just want to watch anime, good ones. That's all I want. Kind of tired of everything else.
Yeah,
I
there's
find
some
him
good
really
ones.
picky with anime.
Me too. But feel like I've come across a lot of good ones. I mean, if it's not good by I don't know in 20 minutes, I'm not fucking watching it.
You sat through One Piece though.
Yeah, but it was good for a while. There was a point where it just got boring, and then I just started playing my guitar with the volume down, like with it playing, and that's when it's when it got bad. When I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah, when the show dies.
Yeah, Robert's still watching on episode like 998 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that.
I don't know why you would want to do that. And all these people now, all these normal you-know-whats, they're watching fucking the live-action One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do
Oh
it.
yeah.
You ever
Can't watch that.
Have you seen Cat Soup?
No.
Watch that.
I've seen a fish called Wanda.
No, Cat Soup. It's a good anime movie. Just watch it on YouTube.
2001, is this the one with the
Yeah, like little cats on it.
the funny little cats?
Yeah,
I feel like somebody mentioned this to me. It might have been you. I don't know.
yeah. Watch that. Serial Air Experiments Lane. That one's supposed to be good too.
Serial Air Experiments?
No, Serial Experiment Lane.
Serial Experiment Lane. Explain. On YouTube, explain. It's explained in 2 minutes.
I don't get it.
Just watch Space Dandy and shut up.
Yeah, that's,
Johnny Bravo in space, dude. Show's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's your assignment for next week.
To watch the experiment guy
No, just
and
watch
the
Cat Soup.
Okay, watch The Cat Came Back, the Studio Ghibli movie. The Cat Returns. That's a good one. Dank movie. And Porco Rosso with what's his name? What the hell's that motherfucker's name? John, the handsome guy. All the ladies love him. What's his name? That goddamn George Clooney.
Mm.
That
I thought you were
motherfucker.
gonna
He's
say, thought you were gonna say Fred.
Fred, that handsome motherfucker. Fred.
That handsome motherfucker, you.
So handsome.
So good looking.
Tony, you can't have that horse in the house. What up?
What, so no fucking ZD?
Oh! Yeah, when fucking what's her name? Janice, when the family comes over, she's like, ah! and Anthony Jr. covers his ears. He goes, fuck. Yeah, Tony got real upset about the Napoleon picture of him and the horse. It's like, am I a fucking joke to you?
Well, you showed it to everybody that comes in.
That's why dinosaurs don't exist no more. I thought it was a meteor. Yeah, they're all meat eaters. They're all meat eaters. Somebody in the comments was like, I like how Paulie is so confident. They're all meat eaters. Meteor.
All right, Fred, what are we here for?
What are we here for?
Our first black metal episode.
Yeah. I went out of my way to pick something very second wave for us.
Weenie, and the butt.
Yeah.
That was a Family Guy reference, dude. Like one of the old ones.
Oh, I haven't watched it in ages.
Yeah,
Yeah, weenie in the butt, dude.
we'll cut that out.
No, leave it in.
Well, today we've got Dominance of Darkness from Dawnfall, circa 1994. German black metal.
Feels German.
Yeah.
Sounds
They had a good little scene. But
Feels a little like Baxaxa.
yeah. There's a lot going on in this album. The production is challenging, but the more you listen to it, the more brilliant it is, I think.
Throw on some headphones, you'll be alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was blasting this in the car driving around.
Yeah, that was my first mistake.
Blasting it in the car?
I was like, what is this? And then I had to throw in some headphones.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to it.
Then I got it.
But yeah, no,
Turn it
this,
on loud enough in the car, you'll hear everything.
They
So
have
it's
a
actually an
little-
album I got into fairly early on when I started getting into black metal due to a recommendation from a friend and the Nazgul's Eyrie and Barbarian Wrath labels, but never actually got a copy until earlier this year when I finally decided to fill that little hole in my collection. And yeah, that was a good moment. But what a weird fucking album. One of my favorite German albums.
So Nazgul's Eyrie, that's like it's very close to you, isn't it? That label.
Yeah, like that
Yeah.
label and
I feel like we've been
the
bringing up
successor.
that label like since episode 1.
Oh yeah. Like so many bands and releases on those were formative for me when it came to black metal. Like Morrigan, Megiddo, Barathrum, Countess, like
Yeah,
so many
all-
bands. Mortuary Drape, like so many bands on there just helped shape my tastes in black metal and death metal. More so black metal, I guess. But
All those
Oh,
bands
so-
have a unique. Or go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna say, oh, so it's their fault, huh?
yeah, pretty much.
They have a
Yeah, I was gonna
unique
say-
sound.
Yeah, well, all the bands on there have a unique sound, but not just that. It's all kind of like a mix of everything. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of variety to all these albums. You get, you have your thrash, black, and death. It's all kind of encompassed in all the bands that you've mentioned, and most of the bands that I know from Nazgul's Eyrie. So yeah, it's cool.
And I know we're supposed to be talking about Dawnfall, but one of the most underrated bands on there is Bifrost, a Dutch black thrash band. They had 2 albums on there, Pagan Reality and The Wildest Fire, and they're terrific, and no one ever talks about them, and I wish that wasn't the case,
I've heard
but
of
they're
them.
so good.
Uh,
The vocals, granted, take some getting used to, but they're fantastic albums.
Ooh, another Crayon album cover.
Yeah,
Did you say Pagan Reality?
yep, that's the crayon cover.
I've seen this before. I think you might have brought this one up before too. I don't think I've heard this one.
I think I
1995.
might have sent it to you in our chat at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
know.
I'm gonna put it in the like video so I can actually give it a good listen.
But yeah, Dominance of Darkness from Dawnfall.
Where does it lie?
Fairly early album in German black metal. I mean, it's up there with the early releases from Ungod and Martyrium and so forth. But I think it gets lost in the mix, probably because of its production and the fact you have to kind of
You have to listen to the motherfucker.
give it a few listens before you really get it. Yeah.
It is kind of like Ungod
But,
and XXX, isn't it? It's got the same feel, kind of.
At times.
I feel
At
like
times. There's a lot going on that album.
I feel like with that band and with Dawnfall, there's like really dumbed down primitive thrash riffs, like galore. I feel like those are a big part of these.
I hear it. I hear that, but I also feels like it's a very abstract approach to it, and that makes me think of Martyrium a bit more and LVX Occulta.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Which
No,
is
just
just a
kidding.
fucking. It's just a
No, I don't know what that
fucking
is.
weird album as well.
Yeah, they played a show with Captain
It's
Forever.
Captain Forever, yeah, they went on tour.
No, so like Martyrium, so like one of the bigger German labels back then, Merciless Records, they released the first Ungod album. That was the first thing they released, and the second thing was the first album from Martyrium, and that's a black metal album too, but it's very bizarre. It's abstract. I can't think of a different way of describing it.
How early is that one?
94?
Dude,
Yeah,
I actually
like
heard.
the first
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the first Ungod, the first Martyrium, the only Martyrium, and the first Dawnfall were from '94. They were some of the earlier full lengths released in the German black metal scene. Like specifically from the second wave style, right? Like because there was a good variety of albums being released, but for that specific sound.
Yeah, I think Moonblood has a demo in '94 too.
Yeah, Moonblood started. Well, they were around for a while too, right? They had different names before that, like Purulent Abduction and Demoniac, but they were a bit more death metal. But I think they roots back to like '89.
Does it? I didn't know that. I really only know the first album. I kind of just looked up how early they were. Demoniac.
Yeah, no, they go further back.
Bloodbrain?
They go further back, but they were more. Yeah. they
Okay,
were
yeah.
more
So you.
death metal at that point.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I actually came across something we had discussed a few episodes back, the Thorns demo from '91.
Oh yeah, we spoke about that when Hope was on the show, correct? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same conversation. It's like finally hearing that, I think it kind of like puts a lot of the pieces together where the second wave kind of guitar style and sound comes from. I feel like that is probably one of the most important fucking demos. And it's interesting. There's like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any drums on it. There's no drums and there's no vocals. It's just a guitar and a bass. And it's almost like a demonstration of of like what black metal is gonna sound like, or sounds like, written by, this one guy and then, a bass player. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
the
that
Grimeric demo had no vocals or drums. Tronderton, I know I'm butchering that, did have vocals on it as well, so that was a bit more fleshed out in terms of sound, but it was much shorter. It was only like 2 or 3 tracks.
yeah, it's interesting. It's like I think that's the same year. Is '91 Burzum demo? Is that the same fucking year?
Burzum's first
Yeah,
demo,
yeah.
was 91,
'91.
but
That's
so
incredible.
one thing they did, but the thing is, like, now that Burzum actually released that unreleased material stuff from those tapes that he had, some of the Uruk-hai stuff has come out, and the Uruk-hai stuff was recorded in like 88, 89, around that, and that has some really early indication of that kind of sound too. So I think at some point people really thought that Burzum took that sound from Thorns, but when you hear those old Uruk-hai riffs, because there's no drumming on it, if I remember correctly, he was kind of already there like a couple years before that. I know Thorns was around before that demo was released as well, but I don't think it's fair to say that Burzum ripped off Thorns. Like, he was already there.
So I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole, ignorant dummy, but I had never heard of Uruk-hai. I didn't know that Varg had recordings as early as '88. I've never heard of this. I've never seen this. Paul, did you know this?
No. I seen it recently pop up, but like Fred said, they just released it, right?
So these recordings are that
like
old?
they had they had been floating around for a while before. So one of the jokes on this is the label that released it, these recordings, Arcadian Music. I'm not really sure where they come from. Like, I don't know much about Arcadian Music. They were distributed through Darker Than Black, but I don't know what they came from. But the label, like the release code for the 2 things they released from Burzum, the unreleased Burzum Uruk-hai stuff from the 80s and early 90s, and the alternate version of Dowdy Balders, the label code is Anti-Ding 001 and 002. And that's because the rip of the tape that had been uploaded to YouTube, I think it was done on purpose to prevent it from being bootlegged, but they had added like a ding in some of the tracks. So you're listening to it and you're hearing these riffs and suddenly ding! So when they finally released it properly, they took that sound out, obviously, or they got a proper rip of it, and then they gave these releases the label codes Anti-Ding.
Anti-Ding.
So there's your fun fact for the day.
I haven't heard
But-
these. If the fact that these are so early, that's pretty incredible. I was amazed by the fucking Thorns demo sounding the way it does. And
Yeah, like, they're pretty primitive, but there's some stuff in there that you'll recognize. Like, one of the tracks, remember the very first opening riff of Bellis? That was the same as the piano keyboard opening from Baldur's Dod, or Dowdy Balders. That riff is on here, and it was recorded either before he went to jail or shortly after. I think he did have a guitar in his cell for a while. Either way, it was recorded in like '94, so the riff from Bellis was already existing long before he released it.
the comeback album.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
it's a cool recording. Like, it's not something you'll like put in the car and like jam as you're driving down the highway. It's just random.
It's
bits
almost
and
like
pieces of riffs.
it's almost like information. It's almost
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
almost like you're studying, because
but it's absolutely
demonstration.
fascinating.
It is fascinating. It feels like a demonstration of like how to write black metal, like just kind of showing you tidbits of riffs
The
or
Wookiee
like
How.
riffing. Yeah, exactly. Wiki how. And something else that was Paul, you mentioned this I think before we even started recording. Zubham Hani from Sweden.
Yeah.
I had discovered this one actually quite a while ago. Had you heard of this band before, Paul? Zubhan?
No, just with trying to find some like Dawnfall.
I think I came across these guys maybe around 2013, 14 when we were doing the Akamana stuff.
Let's get that straight.
Yeah. And I think I remember hearing or reading that like the guy he stabbed somebody at a party and then he went to prison or something like that. I don't know. And then aren't they kind of famous because Nargroth covers one of their songs on like black metal Iskrieg, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I put them on the in the spotlight for a while. They covered Far Beyond the Stars, if I remember correctly.
That one's pretty fucking impressive too. For 92, being from Sweden, and kind of having practically established black metal sound already. A lot of it's power chords, but there are moments of like the like Burzum melancholy in there. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that track where Death Has Raided Itself a Throne is fantastic. One of my favorite songs from Sweden. That acoustic or unplugged introduction where it's just like plinking along. It's awesome.
I want to ask both of you
Very
guys,
Burzum-y.
because I don't think I really picked up on anything like this, but the Dawnfall album, did you get any kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it, the Immortal, the Burzum sounding second wave in here? Because I kind of, if there was any truly second wave stuff in this album, I kind of missed it.
No, definitely Burzum.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like the riffs that are like like the weird chording, I mean, like the not just power chord kind of riffing.
No, I'm just talking about like the tremolo riffing and his.
Oh no! I caught all the tremolo riffing. I meant like.
And of course the Burzum drum beat. You know that shit's all over here.
Yeah. I meant like like some of the weird chording that like emerges from Burzum. Do you know what I mean by that? Where it sounds like sad or melancholic.
The last track on the album, and that's, if I remember correctly, that's the one that has no drums. It's mostly guitars, and I think there's vocals. That kind of reminded me of the Decrepitude tracks from Philosophem. He kind of had that wandering, kind of melancholic guitar feel on on that track. But overall, I didn't get a ton of Burzum. Like when I look at my notes, I got, in terms of second wave, I got some Necromantia and Barathrum kind of sound from.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A couple of the tracks, but for the most part, like on Eternal Lands, which
Bro, that shit sounded exactly like War from fucking Burzum.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what I wrote. That's Bathory's Necromancy riff.
Yep. Yeah, one of those tracks did sound exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Black Silence, I got not the whole way through, but part of it had kind of a Hellhammer Celtic Frost kind of feel.
Yeah, definitely during their slower bits and shit, you know. But then they would do like these weird like arpeggio, like halftime arpeggio, like scale riffs or something, you know.
Yeah, and can we just talk for a second about those vocals? Holy hell.
Dude, they're fucking sick.
They are sick.
They're wild, and like some of the tracks have this creepy ass chanting too.
Oh yeah, I love the choir, especially like towards the end. I think it's into the darkened season of the moon. When the choir comes out of that, like it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's like halfway through the track.
There's like weird clean vocal parts too. I remember on like at least one of the songs.
Yeah.
Like right in the beginning.
Yeah. And it's funny because like you listen to this album for the first time, you're like, what the fuck am I listening to?
I'm like, oh, there's the bass.
Like the production, is so fucked on this. But I think it was intentional though, because like when you really listen to it, everything just comes out, even though it sounds like a total mess. I don't know.
Yeah, like I told you, I was kind of just going off the bass at first because I'm like, I can't understand what the guitar is doing at all. It just sounds like buzzing. But eventually, maybe after, I don't know, 5 minutes of actually trying to pay attention to what's happening, it all kind of, bleeds together and becomes clear somehow,
Yeah. And when we listen to some of the slower parts, it's easier to pick out what's going on, and then it kind of just filters into the faster parts too.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like the faster parts are kind of I mean, everything's important here, but the faster parts almost work like the fast parts on like Cryptopsy's first album, like the interstitial parts where it's supposed to be grinding and out of nowhere. Because when the drums like start going fast, it's almost funny because it comes out of nowhere and it's like almost too fast. You know, it like breaks the momentum in a almost funny kind of way.
It's almost like it can't keep up with itself.
It's like it was keeping up fine with the mid pace, and then it just like what? It starts going like too fast.
That's like help.
Yeah, how?
I'm happy to hear what Paul's saying about this because after I picked it, I thought to myself, "Oh fuck, Paul's gonna kill me."
Why? Because of the buzzing guitars.
It's not. They're not been buzzing, man.
Yeah, there's like almost nothing
because
there.
of how
it's just
fucked
like,
it sounds.
No,
it's like it's almost
sick.
like white noise.
No, it
It's
got
like
me.
I picked Lullaby and now I'm throwing this at him. Jesus Christ, he's gonna hate me.
No, like you know, I said I got those like I think they're called Sennheisers, but those headphones.
Yeah.
So when I threw those on, I was like, oh, okay, I can hear fucking everything. So it was like perfect. I was able to, you know, actually decipher what was going on, and it got me back into listening to more fucked up shit. So I was reminded a bit of like the slow parts of Behexen's like side project or first band, Lords
of the Left Hand.
Yeah, Lords of the Left Hand.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it reminded me a bit of that, and as well as like the vocals reminded me of like Hellfuck a bit.
Dude,
Yeah.
I came out listening to Hellfuck this week too because of this.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh shit.
That song where it's like,
Yeah, the monkeys. How'd you already know the outro for this episode?
oh, is it Hellfucked?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that shit got me, you know, listening to more fucked up shit like this. Haven't been listening to black metal in a minute. Been neglecting it for brutal death metal, so it's nice to hear, you know, the contrast from really polished production to none at all.
To this.
Yeah, there was some good stuff I came across too. Like I've been neglecting like this era of like European black metal for some years now. I mean, I liked it and then kind of forgot a lot of it, you know?
Yeah,
It's good to come back.
but there was like sections of this like that sounded a bit like they were like a note off from being like a Greek melody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's very like first wave sounding, this thing.
Yeah,
In a lot of
it's
parts.
weird because I felt like it went in between first and second wave like dynamically. Like when they picked up the pace, it was, you know, second wave to me, and then, you know, when they slowed it down, it was obviously more first wave to me. You know, especially like, you know, Hellhammer type shit.
Well,
I think that's why on the related artists section of Metal Archives, and I don't usually put much stock in that, but on this one they mentioned Countess, and I think that's a really good comparison because on some of the earlier albums like Return of the Horned One, Admire M, and Book of the Heretic, those first of all have really fucked sound as well, especially Return and Book of the Heretic, and their Countess's vocals are kind of that similar kind of screeched kind of approach, and Countess is really rooted in first wave and trad metal as well. Like
Yeah.
I've always called Countess like a black metal man of war, and
Yeah.
I think that to a degree applies to Dawnfall as well, even though it's
yeah, definitely.
it's not as obvious just by listening to it up front, but it's very much there.
I think this band likes metal in general because there's just a lot of dynamic here. There's like death doom here, and how you were saying some of the like faster tremoloed parts that didn't really scream like second wave to me. It kind of made me think of like more drawn out Vaughn riffs or Acheron or something.
Even like the
Oh, yeah.
fucking 10-second blast beats.
Yeah, yeah. it's like condensed Vaughn or condensed Acheron.
Yeah.
But some of the like primitive thrashy moments I was talking about, or like they're almost like thrash doom riffs. Some of these parts that reminded me a lot of Bestial Summoning as well. If you remember some of the
Yeah.
slower parts on the Bestial Summoning album,
Yeah,
dude. And
Oh,
you know what
love that was almost my pick for this week. You know,
That's a
Bestial
good one,
Summoning.
dude. You know what
Oh,
I
love it.
like didn't even realize until just the other day listening to Bestial Summoning. That's where fucking Blasphemophager gets a lot of their sound from. I never realized that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because they do this
They-
thing. The Blasphemophager and Bestial Summoning, they do this thing where like they'll hold the last string, and then they'll kind of just hold their hand there and go. It's almost a Slayer technique. It's interesting.
Mhm.
You know what else was fucking crazy too? Wait, what year does Bestial Summoning come out? In 92?
92.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, you know what was really fucking baffling too? So Dawnfall comes out in '84. I never really thought about
94.
how important this is, or how just amazing it is. That Bestial Warlust it comes out in '94 too, kind of
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ultimate established war metal sound. That is fucking impressive. That's really early.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And Paul, how you were saying some of the like weird black metal that you were coming across with this. Fred, have you ever heard of Evricon? I came to that from this.
Evricon. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
If I don't think both of you guys haven't heard it, I would suggest checking it out. It's like I think it says that they recorded their demo live while they were really drunk, like with all the instruments and the vocals too.
How do you spell their name?
Evrakon, Evricon. They have one demo from Sweden. This band picture might ring a bell if you guys are looking at it. It's got the little bubbles.
Evrakon.
Evrakon. Their demo Spellbound. Yeah, that band picture. I was trying to think of what this was, and I actually
this.
came.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
remember
this.
this thing? It's
Oh,
it's
man,
interesting.
It's been ages since I've heard this.
Yeah, that made me come across this, and the Soren demo from '93 was really good. Svartskog from Norway '93, Throne of Ahaz, the Black Blood.
How about just fucking
Massamord.
black metal from Netherlands? That demo Pentagram
From who?
from the band Black Metal.
There's a band called Black Metal.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
No, this like just you know how this like first listen you're gonna be like following the bass a lot. I felt like when I was listening to that demo from Black Metal, they were on that same vibe. Like couldn't really hear the guitar, but you know the bass was there, and it was heavily like leading the music and shit. It was it was good.
I saw this demo. I didn't know what it was. Black Metal in 1991.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was cool.
Kind of reminded me of Gnome too. Gnome '95, the Japanese black metal.
Oh, Silent Scream. That was awesome. No one talks about Gnome. They were so good.
Yeah, no one does talk. I think me and you, we brought up I brought up Gnome quite a while ago. I think before we
brought 'em
started
up
doing
before,
this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys heard
man.
some of the like doomy disembowelment kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like in the later tracks, the chugging.
Mm-hmm.
It's death metal in this. There's not a lot of second wave, even though I understand where this fits in as a second wave band.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I didn't realize it was from '94. I thought it was gonna be from '91.
Yeah,
And I thought it
would
was a
make
demo.
sense. Exactly. It would make sense because the demo has like slightly better production. I don't know if you heard the other Dawnfall demo.
No,
the
I
earlier one.
haven't checked it out. But what was this
Mystical
94,
Darkness?
93?
I don't remember. I don't know what year. Maybe '92.
You're
Oh.
talking about Mystical Darkness, right?
Yeah.
I actually have a copy of that.
Check it out. Check it out.
Oh,
I
you
think
know what
I
else
bought
is
the CDs.
You know
But no,
something that
the demo was only a year before. It was like '93.
Oh,
Okay.
93. I was gonna say too, another comparison that I thought of, like some of the riffs sound like I forget the name of the song, but the Dark Throne, Blaze in the Northern Sky. There's a part where like it does a cowbell and it's like you know what I'm talking about?
Which track?
I don't remember. It's got like a cowbell on it, and it's this weird sliding riff. It's like almost a surfy kind of riff. But there are some of those on this album too, like these slidey surf riffs. Weird.
Yeah. So I know you guys usually check out some of the other releases. Do you either of you happen to check out the second album?
No, I didn't. I was
Dre
going to,
Rom?
but I didn't get to it.
No.
It's equally fucked. The production's better. It has a weird history. So it was recorded in '94, same year that this album came out. It didn't get released till early 2000s. And so first weird thing is when you have the CD in front of you, the label says Nazgul Zairi, but it wasn't released by Nazgul Zairi. It was actually released by Supernal Records, and they just took the label and put it on there and pretended it was a Nazgul Zairi release.
Why?
It's I don't know. It's the weirdest thing.
Shady.
There's no track list. It's completely untitled. And so the first 3 tracks, I'm going off of memory here, but I think there's 3 tracks that are metal, and the production's better, but they're really sloppy. The vocals are still just completely fucked.
Nice and
It's
sloppy.
almost like they got tired while playing in the middle of the songs, and they kind of just fall apart as you go. And then the last few tracks are just these bizarre ambient pieces. It's a really weird album.
like I'm sloppy. Dude,
Like, Dominance of Darkness is weird because of the sound, but like musically, once you finally hear it, it makes sense. Dre Rome is like, I have no clue what's going on. I love it, but it's fucking bizarre. It's one of the weirdest albums I've ever heard.
Yeah, it sounds like a 3-act piece or something. Yeah, these first songs are almost about 12 minutes each.
Yeah, the
hard
metal
to-
tracks are really long. I don't remember what the timestamps look like.
Oh,
I think the ambient tracks are a bit shorter than the metal tracks. There's 3 long metal tracks at the beginning, and then the ambient pieces are just fucking bizarre, but they're not quite as long as the metal pieces. It's such a weird album. Like, you guys have to hear it.
did you guys get any like kind of early depressive black metal vibes from this? Not in the sense of like the Burzum kind of melancholy or the like Darkthrone kind of melancholy.
No, not really. Nothing. Not past the
I feel like some of
comparisons.
the single note parts
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
get
say.
really strange.
During like, because they usually keep it really slow
Yeah,
during
yeah,
that
yeah.
part, and they're kind of just doing like the scale of like the single notes, and I don't think there was many vocals during that part, if I remember. It's just kind of focusing on that.
I kind of wanted to compare them, or at least it reminded me kind of in the same sense, because I think one of the Black Legion's bands has a band that's pretty similar. Belothazur. Do you guys remember that? The Melancholy of Evil Souls. That comes out a year before this. And again, I'm always so amazed at like how early other countries and people and bands can like, you know, pick up on this style and really make something just eerie and atmospheric and just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I don't know if you
fun
like
fact
Bath-
about Balathazur. I can never pronounce this one.
Balathazur?
My copy of, I can't pronounce this either, Abxvoriath from Movat. So that one, when I got that tape, there's like a little written insert with it that says what else is on the tape. And when Vorb made this copy, and since he resurfaced, I actually got in contact with him, and he told me, yeah, no, it's a legit copy. He also added on Mutilation's Satanist Styrken. He added on Bellathauser's 94 demo, and Belquetre, some of their advanced tracks that turned out to be one of the demos. I forget which one. So that tape is just like a whole bunch of Black Legion's band just like smacked on together onto the one Movat tape. It's pretty cool.
onto a Movat tape.
No, it's legit.
Yeah, the Melancholy of Evil Souls, the review says probably best for LLN fans only. Because it is pretty
That could be
fucked
said
and
about
obscure.
most LLN releases to begin with.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the bands, like the actual bands, I would say Belothazur is pretty similar to Dawnfall and possibly fucking Dizzlevarv, if you remember that. If you remember how it
Yes.
sounds.
Yes,
Right?
I
Does that
love
kinda make
demo.
sense?
Yep. No,
and maybe
there's some very Black Legion-y sounds on Dominance of Darkness. I don't think they heard any of the Black Legion's releases.
No,
prior
I
to
don't think
recording
anybody
this.
heard. I don't think a lot of people heard this stuff back then. You know, back when it actually came out.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it was probably
Mutilation's
just
first demo
distributed.
was like what, 92,
Mm-hmm.
and they recorded this in 93. Like, I doubt there was any overlap, but there's
That's
similarities in sound for sure.
I've never heard the earliest of the mutilation stuff. Earliest I've gone is just, you know, the Vampires, Black Imperial Blood.
They didn't really have their footing yet, but you need
it's
to
still
hear
it's
that
again
that
it's,
first EP,
yeah.
Hail Satanus, We Are the Black Legions. That
Yeah.
is some of my favorite Mutilation.
maybe Torgeist could be compared to this as well.
Yeah.
Torgeist and maybe Akon Quatre.
I think what we're getting at is if you like the Black Legions, you'll probably like Dawnfall's first album.
If you like the more like disturbing, depressing side of the Black Legions,
Yeah.
then yeah, I wouldn't say Mutilation because that's more like romantic, and Vlad Tepes is more like folky and like Celtic war like. But yeah, some of the really depressive like earlier suicidal kind of stuff is that's where this is at. That's where the Dawnfall album like lands sometimes with some of their like single note stuff and some of their slower parts and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
That's
I
I was gonna say, on that note, let's listen to the track so we can get a little comparison from that.
What the what?
all right, I just wanted to say really quick before I forget, one thing that's really impressive too, Black Murder.
Oh yeah.
Their promo 94, or no, not promo 94, Feasts
Yeah.
in 95, on the song Dead Sex.
Yeah.
Like it's really ugly for a long time, and then it kind of goes into a fucking like one of those majestic satanic War Master Signir Volon fucking moments with like the adventure rock beat. It's impressive. It's impressive that's early, or that early. It's kind of the same year as Vornat, Into the Nightly Sky, and shit like that.
Can I just say I have a
fascinates me.
major bone to pick with the reissues of Black Murder that came out because they released Feasts along with that one-off track, those Black Desires that Torment My Soul.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so there's 19 minutes of music on there, and they hadn't reissued that first 2-track demo, and then they reissued it as a separate release on CD. And I'm like, really? You couldn't just have tacked it on to Feasts? It's like fucking 8 minutes long.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the what?
Fred, introduce one film we'll listen to.
Yeah, we are listening to the 4th track, Eye of Haze.
Eye of Haze.
And I think it encapsulates the album very well. It's got a bit of everything in it, but although I don't think it has any of the clean vocals off the top of my head, but we'll find it. Well, we'll see.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Oh baby,
Yeah,
I
we
like it
are.
raw.
Oh baby, I like it raw. You guys see on the side the Barbarian Wrath discography, the band Blood Cult, the Tomb of the Unknown Redneck?
Yeah.
I think that's Preston from Lord of Depression.
Mm.
It's one of his projects.
Huh.
Fred, does this suck too?
God, yeah, it sucked.
All right.
I can
Sucked
get
hard.
behind you on that actually. No, but
No, that's a great track. Like I was saying, to me the opening riff, it kind of goes through the whole thing. But we mentioned Thorns before. I really hear a lot of that in this particular track. But yeah, what do you guys think?
from being 94, I'm surprised it didn't take like more influence from more of like the established second wave shit coming out, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's been like
it-
2
it-
years. It sounds like it's going its own path.
Yeah.
Besides like, you know, the Burzum-ness and like you said, thorns and shit.
Mm.
It even says in the Bandcamp Hellhammer. I mean, is that too easy to just be like, oh, Hellhammer?
Say that about any band.
You,
Gillespie
Kind
and
of.
Hellhammer.
Sounds like Hellhammer.
it says that this band inspired many modern bands. Is that true? I've never heard anybody talk about this.
That Dawnfall inspired many modern bands?
Yeah, that's what it says
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, that's what it says.
I mean, no.
Have any Nazgul's Irie bands inspired other bands? Because I feel like a lot of those are just kind of still untouched or still like unlistened to by a lot of people.
No, a lot of Nazgul's Iris bands influence, like Barathrum were on there, Mortuary Drape, Countess. They've all been fairly influential.
Okay, so there's a few other
But-
ones. I'm thinking of one in particular. I can't remember. You showed us. It's got like the chick on it, the like fiery demon chick on it. I think it was a one-off album, some German black metal band.
Oh, Thanor?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's something like that.
Yeah, they were
know,
great,
not-
and also
you know, besides-
not hugely influential.
Yeah, exactly. I meant something like that. That
But
really
yeah,
some
no,
of the fucking
I don't-
more known
As
bands.
much as I love Dominance of Darkness, I don't think it was particularly influential.
Yeah, just overlooked, huh?
I think so. I mean, that's kind of why I brought it here, right? I feel like it needs more exposure. It's, I think its production does it a disservice, in that people are listen to it briefly and they're like, ah, fuck that. But that's their loss.
Yeah, because it is, you know, it is like a almost 40-minute, you know, release. It's not like a EP or something that you can, you know, listen to a million times. It's
Yeah.
you know, I had to listen to this maybe, I think it was like my third time I was actually, you know, able to, you know, follow it along, you know, other than the listening to the bass.
Yeah.
And then the, you know, the drums are just nice and punky, and they just do the double kicks really well, and that Burzum beat for sure carries this, and you know, kind of gets you through the rest of the tracks, through the slow bits, the weird melodic parts too, just nice and primitive.
It's interesting.
And that's
like,
the thing, right? That's what makes it so daunting. It's very vocal and drum forward.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's why I
all the
listen to it.
instruments
It's hard.
are,
It's hard. It's hard
all
to
the
pick up
instruments are
on
kind of
what's going
audible
on.
except for the guitar. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you
And
saying,
that's,
Fred?
no, that's exactly what I was saying. All the instruments are audible except for the guitar. The guitar is just this bizarre little buzzing in the background that you have to really pay attention to pick up on. But once you do, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And that's where I draw it back to those early Countess albums, right? Like Orlok was primarily a bassist, so especially on Book of the Heretic, the bass is like just turned all the way up on that, and the guitar is in there somewhere, but it's mostly bass you hear. So if
Or
anyone's
bass.
into early Countess, like Dawnfall's probably your jam too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, this album art, it makes it look like so regal, and then when you hear it, it's like,
Like, oh my god.
yeah, that shit's, you know, outside of the castle gates, you know.
I
No, but
expect
this
to see
is
some like twigs and forests and shit.
yeah, it's great though. Like, it kind of is like a backlogged album for me, where it gets more into like that second wave, especially. I think Eye of Haze is like the turning point, because the first two songs, they sounded, you know, a lot slower to me, more kind of first wave-ish. But then, you know, they bring in the little 10-second grind blast and shit a couple times, and they have a structure that they can, you know, follow with the riffing and shit. It rang more like second wave to me, because, you know, we were talking for your pick and you were trying to get something second wave-ish, because we haven't really covered anything, and I was trying to figure out like why you picked this. But then, you know, towards the later half of the album, that's where it like really opened up to me and was like, yeah, it's weird. And especially me thinking that this was from 91. I was like, oh shit. But, you know, from being 94 is even more interesting, you know, because there was already that established sound happening, but it seems to not be following that at all. It's like
they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, it seems like they just play Hellhammer faster, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as for the guitar tone, I feel like when it starts to do the like more doom metal stuff, and they actually do like high leads, it's so needly and like distinct. I feel like that's when it kind of the fucked up guitar sound shines through and, you know, is able to actually be, you know, a guitar tone rather than just buzzing.
And you could really hear it during that thrash break on Eye of Haze too. The guitar really peaked out.
As they go like higher in the notes, they start to get like really piercing.
Yeah.
I like it though.
The
It's
second half
super
of the
fucking raw.
really good.
Yeah, I was trying to find something. I was gonna ask you, Fred. I was like, is there something more fucked up than this? And then I was listening to Mortem. But that's like all around fucked up, whereas like the guitar is like the only thing that's not audible in this one.
Mortem?
Yeah, from 90.
The slow death.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the re-recording of that?
No.
It's weird. Like, so when Mortem reunited, I guess, and released that album, I gave it one listen and I was like, this is stupid. This doesn't sound anything like Slow Death. Slow Death is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I've never fucking heard it.
But it's a really good album. I went back to it like with a clearer mind. I'm like, all right, give it an actual shot. I've heard good things about it. It's a really good symphonic black metal album. It's like early Arcturus.
Yeah.
And then they went and reissued Slow Death on a 2-disc set. And the first, well, I forget which is which, but on one of the discs is just the original demo, fine. And the second disc is the entire demo re-recorded through the filter of that symphonic black metal approach. It sounds nothing like the original demo. And is it better than the original demo? No, obviously not. But it's a really interesting take on it. At least they did something new with it rather than just trying to re-record it. So it's an interesting listen. It's like, not going to...
Yeah, it's like they established that sound and then they heard what it influenced and tried to take influence from that, and it's just like it's not the same picture.
So it happens with Cryptopsy, exactly. Right?
Yeah, that's what death metal guy was saying on Terminus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Curse from Sweden?
No.
They have a demo that demo is in '89. Somebody in the fucking Mortem on YouTube, they mentioned this in the comments. I've never heard of this. Ad Futurum Re Memoriam. Kind of interested to see what this is. Yeah, because I had never heard of Mortem either. I never heard anybody talk about that before.
Yeah, it was just, like I said, Fred made me deep dive into more raw shit and came out with one of the best slow death shit and black metal. This shit's a good demo. Pentagram.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either. Some new old stuff to listen to that I've never heard before, I don't think. Cool. We got some new bands here.
When I was digging through the German second wave scene, this one is much more second wave. I would compare it to Immortal. But a band called Nebulah, with an H at the end. They released a couple demos. I haven't heard the album, but those 2 demos that they released are really cool. If you want something that's very, very specifically second wave, check those out. I think you'll like them.
Say the first 2 demos?
Yeah. I don't remember what they're called. I think one of them's like Scepter or Spectre of Hatred.
Yeah, they both look the same. Both of the covers are the same.
Yeah.
Scepter of Violence and fucking...
That's a great logo.
Evil. Yeah, it is a good logo.
Right?
It's like the Dark Throne logo.
And that's a cool thing, too. Like, the Nebula spelled like that. My first thought was, Immortal, Masters of Nebula Frost. They spell it with an H, haha. But they're from 92. Immortal hadn't done that yet. So, yeah, I don't know.
Looks like vice versa, huh?
I mean,
Interesting.
but
I
yeah,
can't find them. Are they on YouTube? Nebula?
those 2 demos are great. Oh, is it not on YouTube?
I don't see Spectre of Violence. See if Pure Dark Evil is on there.
If it's not on there, I can rip it and send it to you. I have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, send
Yeah,
us
there's
a rip.
nothing. There's nothing on here. We might have to do that.
Really? There's nothing
Yeah.
at all?
No,
That's
we might
wild.
have to upload it on the channel if you got it. I'll just upload
Yeah,
it here.
I have Dark Deister demos, the compilation of those first 2.
Yeah, send us the or send me the the files, and I'll just fucking upload them. If they're not here, they might as well be.
That's wild. I can't believe there's none of this. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
That's on the itinerary.
We can all listen. We'll have a listening party.
Yeah, we'll do a live listening party.
Demo release party like 30 years after the fact.
So
That's
this
right.
actually was recorded in '92, but didn't get officially digitally uploaded until 2023. But yeah, do you guys want to say your last words on this release?
Goodbye. Hello.
Yeah, it's about
sad
that
to
time,
see you
isn't it?
go. Yes,
About
sir.
that time.
Where's
Yep.
fucking Raph?
He's been here for half an hour.
Has he really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Let him in.
All right. Yeah. Let's say our goodbyes here, or our whatever's. Paul Gosar.
Paul, go.
Interesting. Second wave-ish. Black metal release that you brought on here, and I can't wait for you to bring more, especially if it sounds like this, because it just
More.
opened up my interest into more of that raw shit. Because I
too.
used to listen to this sort of stuff,
Me too.
earlier, but I just kind of focused my listening elsewhere. But it kind of brought this interest back, and just hearing this fucking black metal, kind of skipping over the Norwegian scene a bit. Besides, the obvious Burzum influence, was really interesting. Like I said, it kind of sounded like Hellhammer just like sped up, but they also kept those slow parts and being melodic, throwing those thrash riffs in there. And it is one that is challenging. You have to listen to it a bunch of times, but that's either you're here for it or you're not. And I can't wait to see what else you bring on, especially in this sort of vein of black metal. Thanks for showing me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. This is. I felt like it was a gamble because of how weird it is, but it sounds like it paid off.
It's not no lullaby.
Yeah, no, this is a. It ain't no lullaby, no. This, man, I wish this album got more recognition than it gets. It's so good all the way through. The first half kind of like gets you into what it's kind of about, but that second half of the album, like you said, it really opens up and just like brings you to all sorts of just absolutely fucked places.
Yeah.
I'm happy I finally own a copy after like 20 years of wanting it. I don't know why it took me so long, but I've had the demo and the second album for well over a decade, but I don't know why I couldn't get the first album, but here we are.
Well,
But,
I was gonna say with your wish to get more recognition once this episode drops, boy.
Yeah, I hope.
Recognition
I
out
hope,
the
I hope
wazoo.
it gives it some more.
Hopefully,
I hope
Shannon will
someone
listen.
out there listens to it because of this episode. Like,
Seriously, I think there's been a
It's,
few people that have we've introduced some things to some people. I mean, it's kind of why we're doing it. Hey, listen to this.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this is
I hope
it's
people
awesome.
listen to Murder Rape.
Oh yeah, dude. This I like how dynamic this thing is. It's actually really different than a lot of second wave bands and even first wave bands for that matter. I mean, I compared this to something like Bestial Summoning, and it's got that, but it's got more dynamic, than that. It's more raw. It's kind of more evil sounding. I kind of compared it to Avricon as well, just because how like fucking bizarre it sounds. But yeah, dude, this definitely is like an interest in black metal again. Getting me into black metal, like the raw stuff, the old school raw black metal sound. And I'd be interested in hearing some more shit like this, and just more kind of obscure, cool black metal with it's dynamic like this. Love it. It's terrific.
Oh yeah. Well,
Da-da-da-da.
let's end it now.